Hello, my name is Alan. I'm a newbie, and I thought I'd jump in on this classic book tag as a way of introducing myself and my new channel. It's 10 questions, and they'll appear in a link below the original set. So 1, an overhyped classic you really didn't like. I immediately said Virgil, Aeneid, which I read to understand Dante's The Divine Comedy better. Virgil's a character in that book, and he's very influential. But I could also put J.R.R. Tolkien up here as well. I just never could get into The Hobbit or that, and I've tried. I really tried. 2, favorite time period to read about. Lately, especially, I would say the turn of the century America to maybe 1900 to 1930s America, Prohibition, and gangsters and film noir, and crime fiction is one of my guilty pleasures. 3, favorite fairy tale. Oh, and I love this question. I'm reminded of the first short story I read as a child. It's called 5 Chinese Brothers. And I remember my parents had a world of encyclopedias, but then a smaller stack of colored books and some other books, but I was interested in the colored books. And it's a story from 1938, American writer Claire Hutchett Bishop. I'll have a link below to that. Embarrassed classic that I have not read yet, Moby Dick. I like Woody Allen says in Annie Hall that he's never read it either. I'm a Joycean. I've been reading Joyce and studying him for 40 years. In grad school, my best friend was a Melville fanatic and would always rib me about never having read Moby Dick. I love Melville's short stories, especially Bartleby the Scrivener. Top 5 classics you want to read. Moby Dick. No. The Brothers Karamazov, Great Expectations. I'm going to reread East of Eden this year with my father. That's my favorite Steinbeck book. And Jorge Luis Borges, Collected Fiction. Is he a classic now? But I've never read him. And recently a YouTuber, Clifford, Better Than Food, book reviews. And 5 and 6, I mentioned I was into a Faulkner kick. There's 2 novels I have not read by Faulkner, The Unvanquished, Civil War novel, and Requiem for a Nun, I have not read. 6, favorite modern book series based on a classic. And here I put Guy Ritchie's Sherlock Holmes films, which I think goes under question 7. But I like those films. They're what do they call steampunk, and they're really gritty. Number 7, favorite movie, TV show based on a classic. The Dead, directed by John Huston. The great short story, the last short story in James Joyce's Dubliners. And I also like the TV show Grimm that was on and filmed here in Portland for 6 years, 6 seasons. It was really fun to watch it being filmed here, and I caught up. I would binge watch it on DVD. Let's see here. 8, worst movie adaptation of a classic. Hands down, Ulysses. That one back in the late 50s, I should Google that too, or in the 60s, unwatchable. And I believe there's another one out that I have not seen. 9, favorite editions I'd like to collect more of. First editions. I would like to have a nice bound set of, say, Charles Dickens books, or a collected Shakespeare, even just a nice set of bound tragedies would be great. And last, what underhyped classic would I recommend? The Count of Monte Cristo. That is a book I would love to reread. When I read it the first time decades ago, it was just a sheer reading pleasure, I remember. And I can't take those memories away. So I want to thank you for your time and your consideration, and I hope to talk and meet some of you in the near future. Cascio.